many people know our next guest from last summer at the Muni with Meet Me in St. Louis and other productions. And then, of course, there was Cats, where he was the original Deuteronomy, not to mention one of the originals in All Dogs Go to Heaven in that movie. He's also one of the originals in Ain't Misbehavin'. However, many of our listeners and sometimes viewers know him better for his work in Disney's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. St. Louis native Ken Page, how the heck are you doing?
Well, I'm well, thank you.
And, of course, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas will be seen and heard at Powell Hall the last weekend of October and actually the first weekend in November. November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Exactly.
So you're going to introduce...
I'm going to introduce the film and get everybody revved up in some way or other. and basically introduce the film. And I don't know what I'll say yet, but I'll be there for that.
So the great orchestra will play the music while people see the show up on the screen above the orchestra.
Yeah, they'll be playing the score, film score, live, and then they'll see the film, but the score will actually be played by the symphony.
This is 25 years now, huh? Happy silver anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm waiting for silver to be sent to me by all parties concerned. Ink pens, all sorts of things.
What was it like to work with Tim Burton?
Well, you know, everyone asked me that, and disappointingly, I have to tell them that I didn't work with Tim Burton. Henry Selick was the director of the film. And you see Tim Burton's name, obviously, because he's Tim Burton, and it was his original story from one of his, I guess you'd have to say children's books, if you want to call it that, but... So I really worked with Henry Selick. Since, of course, the film opened 25 years ago, I've been, in different situations with Tim over the years. But he wasn't around for the actual recording of it. It was Henry Selick who directed it.
Danny
Elfman, of course.
And where was the recording?
We recorded it in San Francisco at Skellington Studios. Boo. At Skellington Studios, and... they did it all there. They did the recording there. They did all of the filming there. They had these huge sound stages, if you will, with all of the miniature sets and the armatures of the characters and everything. It was fascinating. And I think it took about 2 years to do the film,
Now, are you more likely to get a great table at a restaurant if people know that you were the original Old Deuteronomy on Broadway and in the movie in Cats, or if you were Oogie Boogie in Disney's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Well, it depends on the restaurant and where it is. Let's put it that way. I think if I'm in Lower Manhattan or some places where people might know the film more, well, I should take that back, because actually the film is more popular all across the country than it is in some of the more urban areas. Maybe. I don't know. What am I talking about? But at any rate, I think probably Tim Burton's Disney's Nightmare Before Christmas, because, film, first of all, is a wider viewed medium than theater. You have to be in the theater to... Fortunately for me, having done the film video of Cats, that's out there on a broader level as well. But I think, there's a huge, huge cult following for Nightmare Before Christmas. And I've been told of recent that that's what I'm best known for, which is like, nobody sees my face. I love it. Every actor loves that. But I'm very fortunate because it's something that... 25 years, as you said, on, here we are, and it's still going, and it's actually growing. Like the thing we're doing with the symphony, these things just started happening maybe 1 or 2, 3 years ago. We do it we've done 3 performances of it, 2 at the Hollywood Bowl and 1 at Barclays Center in New York, with Danny Elfman and Catherine O'Hara and myself singing to the score, as well as the orchestra and so forth. And we're coming up on our 4th production coming up end of October in L.A. at the Hollywood Bowl. So this is the kind of thing that's happening, and it goes on and on and on. And I do signing events for it all the time with Chris Sarandon, who is the speaking voice of Jack. Danny Elfman is the singing voice. And people come, and it's amazing, and it's generational. Because, it was 25 years ago, so people who were in their teens or 25, most of them have children now, and they bring their kids. And it's very funny to watch sometimes, because the kids are getting into it, some of them more than others, but the parents often are the ones who have tattoos and all sorts of things, But it keeps growing, and that's a beautiful thing.